Fuck happiness. Stay angry. So, I don't know what it is with motherfuckers thinking that you should be happy. Whoever said that you should be fucking happy?
People are already trying to discredit the rallies, saying, oh, all the people were old, which I don't understand that. It was a big mix of people. Or saying, oh, that never really
happened. Watching Yankee talk about the old people at the fucking protests is the funniest thing I think I've seen in a minute. How's it going, everybody?
Good. They were old.
Yeah, most of them were old. And then there was a biker gang kick shot Antifa in some part of Michigan.
Wait, what happened in Michigan?
There was some biker gang that Antifa tried to fuck with, and they got their shit kicked in.
Well, I can say this much. Out in DC, they were all right. Not too much going on. A part of that definitely could have been because of the amount of National Guard and whatnot there. We were also rolling around with a German Shepherd in tow, so I think most of the people that would have been screaming in our faces kind of thought better of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, we were briefly, hello everybody. Welcome to the Gay Frog Chat. These are a couple of fine gentlemen, Mr. T-Bone and Mr. Winchworm Incorporated. What the fuck is that name? Okay, whatever.
Yeah, Winchworm Inc. He's doing some off-road and stuff, so go follow my buddy Winchworm Inc.
Oh, nice.
Like, yeah, we do off-road recovery and parts delivery too.
Yeah, no, I'm T-Bone, and I host a podcast, a pop culture podcast called The Drive-In on Roman Nation. That's riseofmiddleamerica.com. But yeah, we were down in DC doing some No Kings protest watching, and it was interesting, man. It genuinely was a lot. It was a lot of fun. We had Winchworm being security and stuff with his dog, so shout out to his dog.
Heck yeah, Maximus is the best.
Well, it seems to me the No Kings protest was a overwhelming success. There are still no kings in the United States. They have prevented any kings from forming. And, hopefully between now and the next No Kings protest, they continue to hold strong on the No King action.
Yeah, I said it multiple times to Winchworm. I'm confused. And I said that maybe about 5 dozen times, right, buddy? I mean, honestly, some of these signs that I was reading them out loud, not only to myself, but like so everybody else like in the stream could hear us or could hear me. And man, some of these signs just made absolutely no sense, man.
Some of these signs were skipping a few plot points in between from beginning to end.
Yeah, no, it was sad and pathetic. And I got a couple interviews and some of the people I even talked to. No disrespect to them, but I think they're a little misled and unintelligent because I asked a couple people, some definitions of words and they just couldn't say anything or couldn't say anything substantial.
You're gonna have that a lot when you have like a mass psychosis, when you have a bunch of people who are all brainwashed about the same thing, and they look around and they see people who all agree with them. So there's no one there to challenge any of their ideas. They're not used to having any of their ideas challenged. So anyone who would is an other automatically, is someone to be opposed, is someone that they don't want to be associated with, but they also want to attack. So if you do oppose anything that they have to say, first they don't know how to respond to it. They don't have like a defense mechanism set up for any kind of attack that might come. Especially like you would think the most obvious attacks they would have something for, but they don't, because they're just so brainwashed and so in that echo chamber.
They're showing up because their buddy told them.
Right. Well, that's sometimes the answer. That's sometimes it's like the girlfriend or the buddy or the whoever that they're trying to impress or be cool with that they, But I think a lot of it, it's just they've been watching CNN too long. They've been watching ABC News too long. And I was talking about this last week, and I keep going back to this because I think it's so true and so pertinent, at least to me, and in a way to explain things to other people. And that's Waco, Texas. Like, I'm old enough where when the siege at Waco, Texas happened, I was like 11 or 12 years old. Like, I'm old enough to remember this. And it happened for, I don't know, like 25 or I forget how many days. It was like 50 days or something like that the siege went on for. And every single day, the news turned on and they were like, David Koresh thinks he's Jesus and he's raping these kids and he's fucking everybody's wives and everyone's abused and they're in this cult and blah, 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 and demonize these people to the point when that church burned down. And I know I'm not the only person. When that church burned down with children inside of it, I was happy. I was like, they got what they deserved because I watched that TV so much that I was brainwashed. And, you know, it took 10 years for me to go back and actually look at that information and deprogram myself from what I was taught and look at the other side and listen to the Branch Davidians and, you know that there was another side to that story that we were not told at the time. And that's what's happening now. I mean, it's a whole different set of circumstances, obviously, but that's exactly what these people are dealing with is they're cheering for people in a church that's burning and they don't know why.
Yeah, well, there's that, and then again, there's the other half of the angle where every single time a peaceful protest goes from peaceful to violent, and Republicans fucking celebrate when people are getting rubber bulleted and tear gassed for essentially no reason. And I mean, look, I begrudgingly have to admit things aren't the way they seem for both sides. I thought we were going to go there and get attacked by people. Nothing happened.
Well, I think we didn't get attacked by people because number one, we had a dog with us, not only just a regular dog. We had a German Shepherd, right? So this is a canine police dog. So it's not like one of those like little bitty like Chihuahuas or something. No, this is an attack dog. You know, is that Maximus right there?
Yeah, it's hard to tell because he's all black.
This is very true, and it is dark. But no. He definitely is a little scary, I will say. And then with myself and Winchworm, we are above 6 foot. So I don't want to say we tower over people, but I was definitely towering over a lot of people.
Well, yeah, I mean, generally speaking, you're not going to run up to the 2 6 foot and above guys and start screaming at their face.
No,
I would say that this is one of the more manufactured protests that I've ever seen. The No Kings protest. It's obviously a centralized, like top-down ordered protest where people are just showing up because they were told to. That they never would have had this idea of like, hey, let's have a No Kings protest unless someone was like, hey, you're going to have a No Kings protest, and here's the date, and here's the time, and here's what you're going to do. And they're just like, yes, sir, got it. Like, no one naturally came. It's like, how many natural protests have we seen in our lifetime? The only ones that I can even think of are the
George Floyd.
Well, no, I would say that those were somewhat
LA riots.
Maybe the LA riots. That's actually probably a true one. I was thinking though,
hands up, don't shoot.
Post Sandy Hook, when Obama was going after guns, and nationally there were a whole bunch of spontaneous gun protests, like pro-gun protests, and so many and so ubiquitous were those protests that they actually backed down from their assault weapons ban. So,
yeah, no, that's a good point.
And that's the only one that I can, when I think about it, like, yeah, I guess the LA riots, but that was more of a riot. That wasn't a protest. You know, that was like,
yeah.
Well, to my understanding, I wasn't there. I'm definitely the youngest one on the panel, but I can definitely to what I've read, it started off as a protest and then quickly divulged into a riot to which a lot of people saw. But
well, that was a response to Rodney King, wasn't it? That was the Rodney King beating.
Yes.
So, and that was one of the earliest examples of a video camera being brought to a police stop situation and showing police brutality. And that's something that police used to get away with a lot that they don't anymore. And, you know, like, not, like that was something that I think needed to happen in this country, was for light to be shown on that. And that's the lefty inside of me. You know, I got a little bit of lefty in me too, to be honest.
I mean, look, at some point you have to have been a little liberal in your life or you don't have a heart. Isn't that the saying? And then if you don't become conservative later in life, you don't have a brain.
Well, Cheers to the people with brains, boys.
Definitely cheers to the people with brains. Shout out to the ones who either injure them a lot or fall. Like some people did this weekend or this past weekend.
Well, I'm glad you guys got out alive. It was in Washington D.C. How'd you like? How have you been to D.C. before?
Yes, yeah, we were there for a culture war event three times already.
Yeah, 3 times total.
3 times.
I've only been there one time. It's kind of across the country for me because I'm all the way in Colorado, so getting out all the way to DC is a bit of a hassle. But the one time that I was there, it was the striking thing to me was the expensive marble structure buildings with like I don't know, Greek god fucking sculptures on the lawn, and everything's made out of marble and expensive, with homeless people sleeping 5 feet in front of it or on the marble steps, or you know what I mean? Like, man, that's crazy. Like the amount of money that's in that city and the amount of like poverty that's in that city at the same time.
We did see a lot of homeless, but we did also see a lot of national security, National Guard.
National Guard. Yeah. So there was a decent National Guard presence. It's a little like they had advanced warning for the No Kings protest, so we couldn't get anywhere near the White House. There was barricades set up the whole way around, and they learned their lesson from January 6th. They put out T-post style, so there's a 4 foot, or probably in totality an 8 foot wide bottom, a 12-foot fence, and then they put concrete barriers on the actual fence to weigh it down so that people couldn't rock it to get it to flop over.
Yeah, man. See, when I was there, okay, this was back it was January 20th. I was there for the inauguration of Biden because I had the opportunity to buy a ticket to Washington D.C. for cheap months in advance, and it was like basically a coin flip. Do I want to go there for some Trump protest or Trump rally on January 6th, or should I be there for the inauguration day? Which one do you think is going to be crazier? And I was like, well, Trump has a million rallies, they happen all the time. But the inauguration, now that's going to be an event. So on the flip of the coin, I showed up on January 20th instead of January 6th, and I wasn't, thank God, one of the January 6th defendants, because I guarantee you I would have been there in the crowd recording what was going on. And then if not charged with a crime directly, I would have had that cloud hanging over my life for the past 4 years under Biden. So thank God I wasn't there that day, dude.
I mean, yes, yeah. I would agree with you, but wasn't there a lot of people that got exonerated and shit, because they were recording and they were allowed to show the judge like, hey, like I was here at this time, I didn't do anything, something like that. Like didn't that happen?
Problem is, go ahead.
There were several citizen journalists that were there that did not get charged, specifically citing the extra protections that journalists get. Honda, you would have had to have had a camera out the whole time, though. Not that I think you wouldn't have, but you probably would have been fine.
There was a guy who had a camera out the whole time who was recording, and he was near action that happened, but he was not anywhere near a participant. He was just recording. And someone from behind him yelled, "Get him," talking about one of the like Capitol Police officers, right? And the FBI got a hold of that recording because it was a live stream and said that he was the one who said "get him," and charged him with incitement to violence because he was yelling from behind the can. So he had to then go get a lawyer and spend time in prison and fight the federal government in court in Washington, D.C. that votes 92% Democrat that would convict a ham sandwich if you're fucking Republican or if they identify you as voter. And to which many of the January 6th defendants who did basically nothing wrong except for maybe like 5% or something, you know what I mean? Like any other circumstance, they would have been let go with a warning or a nothing, right? But since they were January 6th defendants, they had the book thrown at them. There was one dude who died of bed bug bites in jail waiting for his trial date.
Oh, I did hear about this. We cover this on the Midday Rush, one of a show I used to do back in the day. I literally remember this exact one that you're talking about. That's actually
So, I mean, to
wow.
say that anyone was treated fairly, I think is a stretch, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
And Trump. Oh, hold on. One thing though, Trump exonerating these people or pardoning them rather, 100% warranted. Not because they did like no one did anything wrong, but because they got steamrolled by the justice system, because they didn't get their day in court, because they weren't able to have a robust defense. Even the British soldiers who opened up fire on Yankee citizens in the United States before it was the United States were given fucking a lawyer to stand trial with and a strong defense. Like, we don't do that in the United States anymore because it's too partisan. It's too bifurcated, right? And that's, you can't have a nation if that's the way that things are. Like, we've got to fix that. We have to figure that out. We have to figure out a way to bring back some semblance of a justice system that people can have any kind of faith in. Because if we don't have faith in that, then there's no rule of law, effectively. Because the criminals aren't going to be afraid of the criminal justice system because they're not going to be prosecuted. And the good people are going to be beaten down by it. So at some point, people are going to stand up against it. And if things continue to be unjust, that's coming up soon.
well the politicization of the Supreme Court, I think, has trickled down into all lower courts. And like you said, I mean, they would convict a Republican ham sandwich.
No, and they did. Like, over January 6th stuff, there were tons of people who were like, basically did nothing wrong and had to plea out because they knew that they were going to get fucked in court. So they offer them the plea deal, and they accept the plea deal because, well, number one, you got to pay for a lawyer if you're going to fight it in court. So there's that part of it. And the process is the punishment. So that's part of it too. So if they give you a way out that you can just say you're sorry and pay some money, then maybe you can not be under the boot of the federal government anymore. People are going to do that, especially when you're facing like these trumped up charges, no pun intended, where they're going to give you an extra 10 years for whatever it was, like interrupting Congress. I forget what the charge was that they were adding on to people's stuff that had not, like, no one showed up. Okay, here's how you know it's bullshit. CNN, ABC, fought, like, no one has brought over a January 6th defendant and said, why were you there? Because not a single one of them would get on TV and say, we were there to overthrow the government. Because none of them were there to do that. Nobody brought guns. Nobody had a plan. And then ask a Democrat this, like, how is it that a bunch of Republicans standing inside of a building is going to overthrow a government?
Well, didn't they do that? Didn't the
you're thinking of the climate. You're thinking about the climate protesters that stormed into Congress while they were in session and voting in order to stop them from voting on, I believe, something to do with the pipeline.
No, this happened like back in like the 70s or something, and this had to do with like the Black Panthers or something, I think, and they went into some Congress building while they were
the 1960s. It was the Black Panthers doing a show of force with shotguns that they took into the California General Assembly, and that's basically what led to a bunch of gun control and what led to a whole bunch of state houses across this country denying people's rights to carry inside of it.
Thank you.
See, that's why we love having Ohio Patriot here, is because of his weaponized autism.
Thank you for your facts. See, like, I was totally like on a roll somewhere, somehow, like totally like almost close, you know? Not close whatsoever.
Ironically, it was Ronald Reagan, who was, I believe, a California senator at the time, who was the one that was behind the legislation to make it illegal to carry inside of state houses after that.
Yeah.
Historically speaking, gun control is racist. So why don't we get the left in on that info?
I changed my name on Twitter to King Honda. Apparently, they did make a new king.
So this is another thing. Like again, going back to the protests, like they had all these like no kings. They had all these like signs. Like you can tell these people had made these signs like the day of or like the night before. Like these are like last minute signs that they didn't really spend a whole lot of time on, and just. They were holding up the American flag, which, okay, are you for or against America? But then they're talking about how they don't like any kings, which the United States has never had a monarchy. So the entire thing absolutely made no sense.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense is the fact that it didn't make sense. Like you knew that it wasn't going to make sense, but it makes sense to them because they're all in the. They've all drank the Kool-Aid, they've all got the same fucking vibe going on. And so think about this. And I don't know how this works for the old people. I guess it's the Waco effect with the old people, but the young people, the 20-year-olds, like you guys, I'm proud of you guys for not
Thank you.
For not having the fucking goggles on because they've been calling fucking Trump Hitler for 10 years now. Like how old were you 10 years ago? And that's how long
14.
That's how old you were when you started hearing Trump's Hitler. And
I knew
people who were your age have heard that for the past 10 years, and they're like, "Yep, Trump is Hitler. I got to go climb on top of this building and take a shot at him."
Yeah, there is a lot of that indoctrination or doctrinal type attitude. The funny thing is, though, if you were in junior or senior year of high school when Trump was elected, you really got to see how retarded these people actually are. I mean, I had Trump is not my president signs up posted everywhere in school, and rather than tearing them down or anything, like we would just put up other posters of Trump like at the podium and shit like that. Like we had our own little civil war within our school of we're gonna put shit on our lockers and have an argument here.
Well, I'm sure there was probably if you guys were like me when I was that age, when my teachers told me to go right, I went left. When they told me to slow down, I sped up. When they told me to be quiet, I got loud. And if they told me that Trump was
why
Hitler, I would have voted.
No, but I will say that like there were a lot of I don't want to say a lot of teachers, at least in my high school, that were left and right, but you could tell in a sense of like who was a little bit more left or right leaning and who just really didn't care. Like they were like, oh, politics, whoop-de-doo.
One of the things I will say my school did is the speech and debate club would get together I think it was 2 times a year. They did it beginning of the season and end of their season. And they'd have a debate and whatnot in the auditorium up on stage for all of us to sit and watch. And I actually think that was good because it exposes you to new ideas. And to be honest with you, I think that's the strength is being able to actually hear and feel out different and new ideas. If you're incapable of doing that, you're unable to learn.
So I mean, the thing is, though, it leads to shit like this. Republican Danbury, Connecticut mayoral candidate Emil, how do you say that? Emil Buzayards. I don't know how the fuck to say your fucking name. That dude right there. His office got shot up. This front window was shattered in the attack. Multiple Democrat Connecticut officials joining No Kings protest and promoting a message calling for violence against Republicans. And why is that? Why is that? Well, it's because people have heard since they were 14 years old that he's fucking Hitler and that these people are Nazis. And that if you punch a Nazi or you shoot a Nazi in the neck and kill him in front of his family, in front of thousands of people who were there to ask questions and have a conversation so that you can win the argument, so that every time anyone brings up Charlie Kirk's name, they win the argument because Charlie Kirk's no longer here to actually make the argument anymore, So good job winning the argument with bullets, You won the microphone with a bullet.
Wasn't there that one lady, that one teacher that, was jumping up and down and, pointing at her neck and, I guess.
He got fired.
Yeah, I saw
did
that.
she get fired or something like that?
I did hear that she did get fired, as far as I understand.
I think America's education system is waking up to the fact that Americans know that they have been completely and totally co-opted. And right now, teachers unions are scrambling to gain the favor of parents in your local community because they're all about to get fucking voted out. But I went to school with one of the people running for school council here in my hometown, and he's further right than I am. He's a barbershop owner.
Really? He's further right than you are. I mean, like, I don't want to say you're more right than me, but I haven't taken the political compass test, but I'm almost positive you're a little bit more right than me.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look, you have to remember that I'm in a unique zone. I'm in a town with less than 10,000 people, 97% white population, and the lowest crime rate possible in the U.S. All right.
Yeah, complete and utter opposite. Complete and utter opposite. We got like 90 some thousand or whatever, yo.
And the one black family that lives in my town owns the only house that has a swimming pool, a tennis court, a basketball court, a set of horse stables, and a lake.
96,000. I was pretty close.
See, part of the problem is, though, it's the hyperbolic nature of the left today, the way that they like take whatever piece of information that they can from a set of information and twist it in whatever way that they can to make their side look better or make your side look worse. And when it comes to people getting fired over making fun of Charlie Kirk getting shot, they're taking that quite literally as the government is stifling people's freedom of speech because people are getting fired from their jobs. So this is just another sign of how Trump is an authoritarian, of how we are in fact dealing with fascists because they're taking people's jobs away for freedom of speech. But the thing is, it has nothing to do, like the Second Amendment, or excuse me, the First Amendment, also the Second Amendment, but the First Amendment applies to limiting the government's power, not
individuals'
power, or limiting a individual business's power to fire someone for doing something wrong. So they're directly and intentionally twisting the facts because they can in a way that makes their side look like the victim when they're in fact the aggressor. It's a solid tactic. It's rules for radicals in practice.
There's that, while they're also being intentionally ignorant of their past transgressions of silencing any and all who opposed the COVID-19 narrative. And that we won our lawsuit. And I say we because it's the right, but the right won their lawsuit in the Supreme Court. And that's why Facebook and YouTube and all these other places had to reinstate these accounts. We proved that the federal government went in through back doors and either directly banned people or instructed the owners of these social media companies to ban people. And that is a violation of the First Amendment. Nobody's on the left is talking about that.
Where are the lawsuits from that? Like my channel, for instance, I've received multiple strikes on YouTube over the years.
It's a Supreme Court case.
There's been 2 different times where I've had 2 strikes concurrently, and if I got a 3rd strike, I would have been banned from YouTube completely. So I had to take months off, delete all of my videos, lose subscribers, and when I got back on YouTube after those strikes dropped off, the views that I had were cut in like 25%. I used to have, like, there was a point where I would have 200 people watching a live chat, and I had fucking like 1,000 subscribers. Like I had like the most popular small channel that you've ever fucking seen as far as live chats go. And they killed that. They fucking killed it. And they made it so that I couldn't grow. And they made it so that I wouldn't be discovered by anybody. And if I like hire a lawyer and spend a bunch of money and go after these ass fucks for what they fucking did to me to make things right, I'd be lucky to get enough money to even pay the lawyers for the work that they fucking did.
Well, the problem with what you're describing is they didn't directly tell them to ban your channel or anything like that. You acted in advance of an anticipation of what we now know is true, but because you're the one that acted that way, they're like, long story short, you should have just continued to stream, allowed them to kill your channel, and then you would have been a part of the Supreme Court case and one of the censored channels.
Well, if that's all that they're taking care of in the Supreme Court case, then it needs to expand because they're not taking care of enough. Because the far-reaching ramifications of them silencing speech and stifling speech, and it's more than that. It's like, what would I have said that I didn't say because I was afraid of getting a YouTube strike at the time? Like, there's that chilling effect of censorship that happens to people that ends, and it's not only like the things that I'm not allowed to say, it's what you guys aren't allowed to fucking hear. It's the things that I'm not allowed to say, but it's what the ideas that are not allowed to be expressed. And any fucking time that there is an idea that is taboo that you are not allowed to express or that you are not allowed to oppose, it's a psyop. That's when you know it's a psyop. That's when you know that there's forces working behind the scenes that want you to shut up, don't want your ideas to be heard, and so they make it so that anyone who says that idea is a heretic. And so that now it's self-enforcing. Now the people in the public like will enforce your heretic symbol on people who disagree with the thing.
Well, you know, it goes back to the history of the word conspiracy theory.
Ah, yes, that was invented after John F. Kennedy got shot as a way to discount anyone who thought that there was anything untoward going on. You're correct.
So it's and what did they call all the people that were questioning the COVID-19 narrative? We were a bunch of conspiracy theorists.
No, you're anti-vaxxers.
Well, there's
Well,
that
I think
too,
there was no
but
people that didn't take the
into your
vaccine.
country who were from other cultures, you're Islamophobic. If you know what I mean, like there's just all of these terms. Oh, you don't like them transing your children? Well, you're anti-trans. You don't like them having the fucking trans story time in your kids' school or whatever, you know? Oh, well, you're anti-gay, anti-trans, homophobe. That's what you are. We can ignore everything that you say and demonize you. And when someone shoots you in the neck for having an opinion that disagrees with us, we will be justified when we celebrate it. And it's sickening. And it's sickening once you see it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it because it's everywhere. It's pervasive. And like, again, it's the people watching the Waco news coverage, man, and they're cheering for the church that's burning with children inside of it. There's fucking children inside of the church that's burning. You fucking sick fuck. But guess what? I cheered for that too when I was 11 years old because that's the way that humans are. So you can't be mad at these people for cheering for the church that's burning. What you have to do is direct your fucking anger and your rage at the people who were programming those people to cheer when the church burns. Because they're the ones that are guilty. They know what they're doing. They see the truth, and they're manipulating it in a way that benefits somebody that's paying them, you know? And that's the way that fucking things work.
And honestly, I think what's the famous comedian's name? You don't need a formal conspiracy for people to act in co-opt interest.
Oh, you're talking about George Carlin?
Yeah, George Carlin. Yes, thank you. These people they all share an ideology, and because of that, even when they're not organizing, it's organized.
I hate my camera. You see this camera thing going on? Oh, look. Hey, it fixed itself when I talked about it. Oh my god.
Hey, yo, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Genuinely.
Giggity.
It's a
Okay,
big
we'll do it
party and you're
live.
not in it.
Yo, F it, we'll do it live. Literally the motto of the midday rush. Honestly, yo, shout out.
So, did you guys hear about the 2 churches in North Carolina that were set ablaze, thankfully saved and not burned to the ground? However, arson is being investigated actively. They were set on fire. Arson did set them on. It wasn't like that house that judge had in whatever state that was, where all the leftists were saying, oh, well, the judge had a judgment against Trump and now our house is on fire. Oh, what is MAGA going to do about this? And then it turns out it was just a fucking propane can that caught on fire and blew up inside of her house and had nothing to do with arson at all. No one did anything. There's no Republican fucking arsonist outside burning fucking gas cans and setting her house on fire. That did not happen. But they ran with that story for over a week. And now 2 churches in one state are actually set on fire, presumably by someone who's either Muslim, I would assume, or on the left, because those are the only two people that would go after fucking churches in this country.
Oh yeah, definitely not a Mexican illegal immigrant. Those guys are Roman Catholic.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, the immigrants to this country from South America would never burn a church down. Like most of them are religious. Most of them would think that they would go to hell if they would do something like that, and they're probably right.
I got to be honest with you. I think this is where we go from just the immigration conversation to the advanced part of it. This hits so hard at exactly what in my opinion, and one of my favorite governors, even though I don't agree with all of his policies, this hits exactly on what the governor himself was talking about, Arnold Schwarzenegger. When you move to America, you need to assimilate into our culture. You need to accept it, import it into you, become it, and then help it. That's not what these Muslim immigrants are doing. These Muslim immigrants are immigrating here specifically to destroy the people that they hate. And that's a large part of the reason why in the Obama years, there were more countries that we wouldn't accept immigrants from that are Muslims than there currently are that we accept from in the Trump era. Obama had more Muslim ban than Trump did. That's a fact because we were in war there.
I don't have it pulled up, but there was some town hall meeting or something like that from COVID era, looks like, where Mandami, the guy who's running for mayor of New York, showed up. And
what about
he said something to and I'm paraphrasing. He said something to the effect of, like, we came here to remake the government in our image, not yours, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, instantly revoke his citizenship and ship him out of the country. That's like
whose man's is this? Whose man's is this?
When I was going through school and whatnot, a part of and I think this would be 7th grade when I was taught this, but a part of the immigration process was taking an oath that you would assimilate. Assimilation, there's a reason that word exists.
Took me a second.
There's also a time period in
jigs.
history where we actually had forced downtime for assimilation. That's the problem. We don't have that anymore because you constantly have streams of people coming into this country from whatever country.
They had to spend what, 2 weeks assimilating?
Well, the whole point is that you actually would have people learn English and want to assimilate into this country, where these people now they're coming from Honduras or whatever, and they'll just make little Honduras in some state, or little El Salvador, or little Venezuela, or whatever the fuck, little Iran or whatever the case is.
Well, not to say that you can't have, like, I mean, look, German towns and stuff like that exist all across the U.S. It's not to say that you can't have that stuff. But do you see Germantown saying that we all need to conform to their ideological view? Fuck no, you don't.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, Chinatown's a thing.
Yeah, so is Little Italy and stuff like that.
Yeah, but what did they do? They accepted the fact that they were a little thing in a bigger thing.
My mother's generation, my family actually came over from Poland right before Lenin took over, and they would have been killed probably because of he had taken over before they had fled. But they came over from Poland. My great-grandmother spoke only Polish. My grandfather spoke Polish and English, and he specifically said my mom's generation would speak English in the house and outside.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what you have to do, man. And it's hugely important. I was having a conversation with one of our buddies about what his family does with working with Native Americans that are in school for a few months in a row, and then they go back to the reservation. That reservation's like another country. They don't speak English at home, and a part of her job is to teach them English and whatnot. And it's like they go home, and home life takes over the assimilative process, to getting them to be an American. And I mean, I I'm all for the idea of service guarantees citizenship, but I don't think that service should be in the military, being sent overseas, not being American. I think that service should be National Guard here doing hurricane relief and gaining a fondness for the people that you're working with and trying to come and live with.
Negatory.
Daniel says that
Talk
Germantown
more
could
about
fix
basic.
all this shit.
Oh, Daniel.
They had a solution once. Just kidding. I'm kidding, everybody. It's called a joke.
The final solution.
Why is it that there's always some fucking blue-haired freak surrounded by like fat upper pussy area lesbians with a guillotine, and they all think it's funny, but it's not funny because there's people who are actually dying. I don't know. You can do what you want. This is America. You can say what you want. This is America. But man, that looks bad. It just looks like shit, doesn't it? It just looks like fuck you and like how are we supposed to unite with people that are like this?
Open air asylums, man.
Well,
It's sad that some of these people are wearing, masks because they don't want to show their faces.
Some of them should wear masks because they're so fucking ugly, dude. Like, put a mask.
No, this is correct. No, this is a true statement. And some of them need to go to the gym. No disrespect.
These
some of y'all
two right
need to go to
here-
the gym.
Those two right there, especially, like Jesus.
No disrespect. But you know what? I did hear that if you go to the gym, you can get your body right, and then that'll also help getting your mind right. So I don't know, but that's just what I've heard. I'm not a doctor or nothing.
Hey, if you try to say that being in shape will help you survive COVID-19, you are spreading correct information. But a few years ago, they just said it was disinformation, which is fucking hilarious.
So here's a message from the Denver communists at the Charlie Kirk at the No Kings rally. Charlie Kirk had it coming, changed my mind, and they had a table set up. I don't think they were actually having debates with anybody. Obviously, they're just standing around being communists or whatever communists do. Not exactly sure about that one, but
I wonder what would happen if somebody actually came up with an opposing view. I wonder how badly they would be beaten. But honestly, I would take on that aspect because I am taller than the average. So like I would go up and I'd see where they're coming from. Charlie Kirk had it coming, changed my mind. So exactly how did Charlie Kirk have what coming and what? So you like violence? I like so like would it be okay for like violence to be put on to like regular people? Like I'm confused. Like what are you okay with, person? Because like that seems really, really bad.
Well, it seems to me that the sign that they have is like a self-defeating sign because they're like, Charlie Kirk had it coming because he called for violence against people. So I'm calling for violence against Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, well,
so I have it coming.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
So I have it coming, yeah.
Like make it make sense. Seriously, make it make sense.
You can't
like
make
I'm
what
living in
these
clown
retards
world,
say
guys.
Make sense.
Huh?
Dear Lord, what'd you say, Corey?
I said you can't really make what these leftists and retards say make sense because they're way off base. They don't speak factually. I mean, this No King bullshit came to an area near me when it was on the Saturday last, and they're chanting, "This is what democracy looks like," even though we're not a fucking democracy. I mean, these people are fucking retarded. Everything they say and do is uneducated.
What was the word that I asked that boomer to define? Was it the word insanity? Because I asked him to define two words. I think it was terrible and the word insanity. And this boomer.
Yeah, well, boomer guy thought that he was getting a word something in over edgewise on you because you kept asking him, what is a tyrant? And
no. I asked him,
he
sir,
said,
what is the definition of the word
tyranny?
What was on his poster was that Donald Trump is a tyrant. You asked him.
Oh yeah, so I asked him what that definition was.
And then he said Donald Trump.
Yeah, and I got really confused because that's not a definition. So I asked him again, and he said the same thing.
You didn't.
I got even more confused.
You didn't catch on to what he was trying to do, but what he was trying to do was make you look stupid, when in all reality, he's making himself look fucking retarded because There isn't a single tyrannical action that you can point to from the Trump administration. There is no tyranny.
You know, honestly, like going out and arguing with these people on an individual basis, I don't think is going to change anyone's mind. You know, like maybe you get like a viral clip out of it if someone gets really angry or does something. But I think the thing to do these days is like visual art. Like the thing to do would be to show up wearing like a crown with like sitting in a chair with like people like carrying you in the chair, like on their shoulders on one of those things or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? What the fuck are those called? Where they carry you around? And you like have like a gavel or something, not a gavel, but like you got your fucking scepter and you're like fucking giving out pronouncements to the Democrats about how they're
hear ye.
That'd be funny. Everyone, you'd get on the news for that. Like there would be like memes. You would be famous. You might get on fucking on Joe Rogan. Shit.
Right.
You know,
there's only been one true king that's ever walked this earth, and that is Jesus. I know some of y'all don't
he's the
believe.
king. He's the king of kings.
Yep. He's the only king that truly walked this earth.
And look, that's another part of the No Kings protest that I think is apt. This is strictly a anti-religion in America protest too. These people, a part of their protest is against the idea of the King of Kings.
I wasn't talking about the throne. What are those things called where you're in a chair and there's like servants that carry you around?
It's a Satan
No, I know what
chair.
you're talking about. I don't remember what they're called.
It's got a word.
I will use GPT to get it.
It's got a fucking word, and I can't think of the word.
The only thing that keeps coming to mind is chariot, but I know that's not what it is.
All right, so listen to this thing that I
Are
said.
we just ignoring what Ohio Patriot said?
What did Ohio say?
I said it's called a Satan chair. SEDAN.
That is not what I was thinking.
Like Satan Terry.
I don't know. When you look it up, that's what comes up is like the little boxing that they're like sitting in and being carried around in.
All right. Well, I thought it was called something else. Anyway. So,
well, gentlemen, I do need to leave, so I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Winchworm, sir, yeah, let them. Actually, you know what? I'll do a quick shout out, guys. My name's T-Bone. I host a show, The Drive-In, on everywhere, YouTube, Rumble, and X. Go follow it, go like it, go subscribe. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I gotta go. Hi guys. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate you.
Subbing now.
Anyway, so I wrote this the other day, and I wanted to get what you guys have to say about it. Why did Biden let freaking 15 million into this country in 4 years? If you supported Biden letting people in, you were responsible for whatever measures the legitimate government takes to remove them. This is Biden's mess, and you guys are clutching your pearls when Trump cleans it up. Where were you when 18-wheelers with dozens of migrants were found with every single person inside dead? You don't know what I'm talking about? Where you get your news from is shit. How many children died coming across the desert? How many drowned in the river? How many were sold into sex slavery? You support Biden, you support illegal immigration, you support all that death and exploitation. You are for slave labor, which is effectively what you are if you are in this country working under the table because you are here illegitimately. Also, tired of your rent being too high? Tired of not being paid enough? Well, maybe it has something to do with the competition from 15 million people who are here and need a job and a place to live. Bringing the former up and the latter down. Go fuck yourself.
Well said.
And a whole bunch of people are like, okay, so there's this YouTuber. I can't remember his name. He's like some big leftist guy that I found. Hold on, let me fucking look him up real quick. He's in my subscriptions because I subscribed to him so that I could come back and find him. Anyway, I'll talk about him without his name. I went on to his Discord and I wrote something to the effect of what that message says. It's the Tony Michaels Show. Tony Michaels podcast. 350,000 subscribers is what this guy has. And he had a live chat going the other day with 35 people watching. And I was making fun of him, and I was like seriously like going hard on him because he has 350,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, and his live chat had 35 people watching.
Sound familiar?
So
Yeah,
I was
got a
calling,
lot of
I was
Hunan
calling
Muhammad's.
him all kinds of names, and they kicked me out of the YouTube. So then I went on his Discord, and I was like, haha. Guy.
Sounds like another Stink Range.
They kicked me off of the Discord too. That's all.
Fascist companies controlling fucking Discord like that.
Oh, did both those dudes leave? I guess they both left. I was trying to get that guy's fucking YouTube channel link.
No, the
Who were they? I
dropped
didn't
out is
recognize
back
them.
in again.
Those are dudes from the Tim Pool Discord that I was talking to.
Okay, cool. It's always nice to have new people around.
Here, let me try to message this guy real quick. Hey, link for... Anyway. So yeah, here's the pieces of shit that were at the Denver No Kings rally. There's my message. Oh, here, listen to Bill Maher. Bill Maher gets what Yankee couldn't understand.
And this shit has to stop too. He went out to dinner. I wouldn't have done that. In Washington, D.C., okay, and people started to gather around him and they were chanting, "You're the Hitler of our time." Okay, first of all, assholes, he's not Hitler. Okay, an insult to everybody in the Holocaust to begin with. Second of all, calling somebody Hitler makes it a lot easier to justify things like assassination. Let's put a shitload of that away, shall we?
That's what Yankee doesn't understand.
And also,
Right.
no, I'm not.
Seriously, like that was like the thing that I was trying to say to Yankee that he just wouldn't fucking get past was, hey, when you call a group of people Nazis and you call a particular person Hitler, it really makes it easy to justify trying to kill them. It really does, doesn't it? And I don't think there's any arguing against that.
Yeah.
And I can't believe Bill Maher's actually stating this. I mean, because I thought he was worse than Yankee, to be honest. So it's very
Bill
shocking.
Maher's actually fair. He's anti-Trump, but he's also fucking smart and logical. So, anyway, let's keep listening.
I'm not saying he's popular. You know, he went out to dinner there in Washington, D.C. The kitchen had to send out for more spit. But he's not Hitler. And then, to add to his bad week, the House Oversight Committee, they released a redacted copy of Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday book. He had a 50th birthday party. You know, people put together a book where people write in, and a lot of people wrote in this book. Bill Clinton's in there, Dershowitz, a lot of world leaders, a lot of titans of industry. I am not in the book. I did give a blurb for the cover, but that's... But there's an alleged letter from Trump. Alleged, he denies it. I want to be very clear because they're very litigious. I got one going. I can't do anymore.
So, for reference, 50th birthday party. Does anyone know how old Epstein was when he died?
No idea.
66. This was 16 years before he died. So, was it widely at that point that he was a child diddler? I don't think it was widely known.
But no, alleged, completely alleged that Trump wrote in the book. I don't know. It is entirely possible that Jeffrey Epstein had two close friends named Donald Trump. Absolutely. We don't know. He denies it. But, you know, they asked Trump about it this week, and he said it's a dead issue. And he keeps saying this, and, you know, he keeps wanting this to be a dead issue, and it keeps not being a dead issue. Something keeps coming up about the Epstein thing. I'm not saying he's looking for a distraction from this, but if you're a Venezuelan, I wouldn't go boating this weekend. That's all I'm going to
Dude, I will say this about the whole Epstein thing and Trump and the left. Where were all of these Democrat talking heads when Biden was in power who were calling for the Epstein list to be released? And the answer was crickets. They didn't exist. It didn't happen. They weren't there. If they were there, they didn't say anything. If they said anything, no one heard it. So fuck off with all that shit, because we were saying this the whole time. And that's the only reason that Trump even talked about releasing the Epstein files in the first place, was because of how much the Republican Party, and specifically people who voted for Trump, wanted those fucking lists and those people and those names to be known. And the fact that it's not now, even though it was a promise from Trump, leads me to believe, and I could be wrong, that this had something to do with some kind of deal with Israel or like some other country somewhere, and we're getting like a cost benefit analysis from Trump says, hey, if we hold this guy accountable, he's accountable. But if we let him go and we get the deal, then we get the deal. And he did a cost benefit analysis, and he says, I mean, this is why we elected Trump, right? Was to make these kinds of decisions about what's best for the country. And he said, this is what's best for the country. And we don't know what deal was made. We don't know what happened behind closed doors. We don't know why Trump went from promising to release the Epstein list to pretending that it doesn't exist and trying to shrug it off and ignore it, right? Obviously something happened, but the default position of the liberals is that there's something that Trump's doing that's either illegal or trying to cover up his own fucking wrongdoings, versus my assumption is that Trump is doing something, he made a deal that's pro-America, America first type shit. So, and I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know anything else than anyone else knows. It's just logical to conclude that. Hey, do you have a link for your buddy's channel?
Yeah, it's
Oh, he sent me a message. Okay. I got it.
Oh, he did? Okay, good. RiseOfMiddleAmerica.com is where you're going to find all of our stuff. We just have like a little hub that we associate with, and then we all have our own shows off of it.
There's a link to his. He's doing a live chat right now, actually. Well, fair enough. Anyway, man, I the more I listen to Bill Maher talk about stuff, the more I think he's actually kind of reasonable, and I think eventually he will come around to maybe not liking Trump or like voting for him if he were to run again or whatever, but maybe not hating the guy, you know? So
I think there's a lot of people on the left that need to come around to that. I mean, look, there's a lot worse stuff that you can look through. That was awesome.
It's funny that Trump posted this or reposted it or whatever.
If you want to talk like Trump and Epstein, this, that, and the other thing, I don't want to have that conversation unless there's an admission or an acknowledgement of the 20,000 missing Haitian children that the Hillary Clinton Foundation was supposed to take care of.
Look, I still want the Epstein list. I think that there are people who are in power that are having the screws turned on them by whoever has this information, this blackmail information on them that was gathered by Jeffrey Epstein, presumably, right? That's like why he had the island and why he had all the power in the first place.
Yeah, that is a funny duality of this situation is people are, why aren't the politicians doing anything about the island for blackmailing politicians? Oh, gee, I don't know.
Oh, Ireland's dealing with it. Look at Ireland. These are the illegal immigrants in Ireland fighting against the police.
Oh, that's nice.
Or are these the white people? These are the whites.
Oh,
you can tell by their hands. See how white their hands are.
You can tell by their hands.
Fuck yeah, Ireland, they're getting it. Ireland gets it. Why doesn't Yankee?
Oh, didn't they, after the one rape incident, didn't they barricade the doors shut to a immigration facility and start burning it down?
Did they really?
They for sure torched one of the migrant hotels that was there.
Yeah.
Harry
Donald
Sesson lies on Pierce Morgan, and who?
Jack Posobiec.
Isabella Brown immediately brings the receipts. Let's watch this real quick.
Trump campaign is putting that in an ad. I think that deserves to be called out. Number two, I don't think anybody in this debate can name me a high-ranking elected Democrat who has called Donald Trump Hitler. I don't think anybody can. When did Kamala Harris call Donald Trump Hitler?
October of 2024. Kamala Harris said on the campaign trail, Donald Trump vowed to be a dictator on day one. His former chief of staff said he wanted generals like Hitler's. Donald Trump openly admires dictators, including Adolf Hitler. Last October, that was said on the campaign.
Trump campaign is...
God, that face, dude. I hate this guy's face. Look at... Oh, my God. Look at his face.
He was shaking his head in agreement. Like, yeah, he is a Hitler.
Like, insert penis.
Yeah, I was about to say it's made for sucking dick.
Looks like Jimmy Neutron.
I think he needs to be fucking kicked out of America because, in my opinion, that son of a bitch ain't American because he wasn't born here. He was born in Singapore.
Who?
Harry Sisson.
Really?
Yeah, and he lived in Ireland for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, he's only been over here for like 4 or 5 years.
I think we need to start leveraging the fact that in the United States of America, if you are a communist, you don't have human rights.
Breaking: Luigi Mangione was beaten up by 7 ladyboys in Thailand.
That's
what the
hilarious.
fuck?
But is that like a Babylon Bee article?
I'm clicking on it. Hold on.
Or has reality finally turned satire?
When did he get out of the country?
I think this was from before he was anything. And this is newsquiz.io. What is that? I don't know.
And did he pay for that?
It probably paid
According
for
to
it.
a New York Post report, Mangione allegedly shared stories from his backpacking trip across Asia in WhatsApp messages, including one where he claimed he was beaten up by 7 ladyboys using a common slang term for transgender women. He even sent friends a photo of bruises of his face and arms from after the altercation.
He's getting some loving by ladyboys.
I mean, sometimes the internet comes through, you know?
Yes, it does.
And so we need the Quagmire voice. Ladyboys need love too.
All right.
Giggity, giggity.
Giggity.
Okay, let's listen to this.
Yeah.
Guy. This is in Portland.
Behind me is a man's body that's been here for several hours. We've watched hundreds of people walk by and not even notice. We called 911, but still there's no response. So right in front of
Okay, we're not showing that anymore.
Is it actually a dead body or is he just asleep?
He's asleep. He's definitely asleep. Sleeping.
Forever sleep.
No, just for a couple hours. Like
He's just logged out. He's just logged out. It's all good.
Can't watch that either. God damn it, internet! You're letting me down.
He's back in the real world, and that's just his avatar.
Exclusive on Rumble.
All right. Speaking of no kings, let's listen to this EBT king.
Woke up.
Yeah.
I got an email from EBT. I used to get $740 a month for my 2 kids. And we not getting EBT no more. They took the EBT. They saying I gotta work 20 hours a week. I'm not working for nobody. Get the fuck out of here. This is what Americans, taxpayer, work for us. They work for me. They
No
gotta
bit.
help me feed my fucking kids. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be quitters now. Y'all been helping us all this fucking time. Now y'all want to tap out. Get the fuck out of here. I want my EBT, yo. I want my EBT, and I'm not working for nobody. I'm a fucking boss. What the fuck I look like working when the government is here to help? Come on. Y'all send all that money to Iraq, Ukraine. Y'all funding all.
That is so incredibly, dude. I have 2 kids.
Entitlement, man.
That I have raised until they are adults. I have never taken government assistance one time except for unemployment during COVID. Be the one glaring exception to that. But everyone was getting it then, and like if I didn't take it, I was gonna die. So sorry. I've never gotten food stamps. I've never gotten EBT. I've never had SNAP. I've never had Social Security. I've never had Medicaid. I've never had Medicare. I've never had any of that. Fuck this guy.
Look, honestly, if you can't pass a drug test, you shouldn't get an ounce of government help, because if you can still afford your drugs, I don't know why you're coming to me for help with affording anything else.
Exactly. Amen to that.
These also
And he
tend
needs
to be the
to-
guys you will
I know
see.
I mean, look, the thing that we have to acknowledge here, so that we don't get clipped and taken way out of context, is the government help and whatnot. The helping hand up, not the helping hand out. Okay, and that's the huge difference. We like a part of getting EBT and that sort of shit should be like you're coming into a government office and talking with a lady about how your career is going and what you're going to do for work and where you've been applying for jobs and that sort of thing. It's infuriating listening to someone like that when from the age of 15 on up, and I'm 27 now, I have crawled through human shit cleaning sewers for a living. 6 years of which I was making $30,000 a year doing it because it's my dad's business. That's just fuck that guy. I want him to be I want him to work for my father. Like, I want to see that. That'd be funny.
I want to beat him like a war drum.
These also tend to be the same guys.
I just want
that
his
you'll
kids
see.
to be hungry so that he gets off his ass and does something about it, and doesn't expect
These
everyone
tend to
else to feed his kids. They're
These
not
tend to
my
be the same
kids.
people that you'll see in a Walmart or a Target or wherever the case be. Well, they'll have the shopping cart full of shit. There'll be some things that won't be applied to the EBT when they swipe the card, and then they'll pull out that big fat wad of cash and just rip off $100 or $200 or whatever from it.
Mm-hmm. Fuck these people. And there's always a common denominator about whining about
Don't
EBT.
say it. Don't say it, Corey. Just take a breath.
Well, no, it's always poor people.
Okay.
No, that's not what I was gonna say. I'm just scared
We
to
don't.
say
I
it.
was trying. I gave you your out. That's on you now.
I don't need an out. I'm a grown man. I can handle anything that comes my way for saying a word.
Well,
but it's not my chat, so therefore I'll respect him for not saying it.
Thank you.
Respect him and not say it.
Thank you very much.
A lot of them just sell them for like 50 cents on the dollar anyway.
Here we have a dog eating corn on the cob.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
My dog would eat the fucking. My dog would eat the whole cob.
No, he figured it out. Look at him. He's gonna have to floss after this, but he's got it.
He's going to town and he's doing a good job.
Do you hate when you eat corn on the cob and you get all that corn stuck in your front teeth?
God, I hate that. Yes.
Dr. Picks.
I don't really get that.
There's more.
Honestly,
video of Ireland going nuts. More video of Ireland going nuts. Illegal alien from Mexico charged for ramming his car into federal agents in Los Angeles. One U.S. marshal was injured. He faces up to 8 years in prison.
I think I know why Ireland's going crazy.
Did you guys?
Because
Muslims that are moving there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Did you guys see the FBI caught I think it was a 14-person team that was planning a terrorist attack on ICE agents.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, just look that up real quick. I think it was 14. It might have been less. Maybe just look up like a terroristic plot against ICE.
There's gonna be a bunch of those.
Oh, here you go. Here you go.
Was that it? Yeah, that's it.
Oh no, that's a K-pop group. Never mind.
No.
The only one the media was
What the
covering
fuck
the
is
last couple
K-pop?
days.
Korean music.
I'm on my phone. Otherwise, I'd be looking it up for you.
Not music.
Early
I got
terror
it.
attack, ICE. Blah blah blah. Boom. Antifa terrorism charge in Texas. ICE attacks. Grand jury. 2 members of North Texas cell. Man just brandished firearm at ICE facility. I think we're gonna get a whole bunch of stuff. Why does he always
arrest made it?
Okay. Why does he always look like he just saw one up close, man? Look at this.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
And it's the biggest one he's ever seen, too.
Okay, here we go.
He's seen the files.
Members of a North Texas Antifa terror cell.
That's it.
Accused of carrying out an attempted murder of federal officers at a shooting terrorist attack on ICE facility. That's a weird way to say that, Andy. Now, at an ICE facility on the 4th of July in Alvarado, Texas.
Where?
Alvarado.
That's like 3 towns from me. Yeah, I remember when that happened the other day. That shit was bad. One of the ICE guys got shot in the throat.
Why do they always look like their sister is their own grandpa?
Because it probably is.
Like,
Years ago, I actually lived in Alvarado.
Well, that's because it's Texas.
Well, hold on, listen.
His grandpa was a caveman. Like
where I lived in
Hi, Kyle.
Alvarado, I could see that ICE detention facility from my front porch.
Wow.
This one just got fucking threatened with rape by his new cellmate.
Oh yeah.
The 1 second in on the bottom is definitely claiming to be trans.
That's a fat tranny.
Matter of fact, all of them were on the bottom. Like all the ones with long hair on the bottom, probably trans.
There's not a looker in the group. Like she's like not even okay, and she's the best one.
Yep.
Wait, you're saying the 1 second to the right from the top isn't the best one?
You know what? I bet you the first one, if she had makeup, she would actually look.
No, the first and second one are fighting for first and second place.
The second one on the top looks like she's trans too.
Wait a second. This is small on my phone. Never mind. I changed my mind.
Only women left on the planet.
That Melissa McCarthy.
I'd be very sad, dude. I'd be crying to God, take my other rib out, please. Just make an attractive one.
And that's it for the human race, I guess. I'm sorry, guys, I can't do it.
They all look like they just broke out of an insane asylum.
Oh, you might as well go for the twink at the bottom.
The amount of alcohol it would take for them to be attractive would put you in. It would give you permanent liver damage.
I'm just disappointed no alcohol do it for you.
Dude, the amount of alcohol that it would take to make any of them attractive would make it so that your dick didn't work.
No, you would die of alcohol poisoning before that would happen.
You know, honestly, I think God designed us with whiskey dick so that when we were so drunk that we would fuck a troll, you just can't.
But you really want to.
You really want to, but you can't.
Oh, that looks so cool.
I saw one of those a few months ago at night. It was it looks more impressive in person, really.
Now,
anyway.
have you guys checked out any of this? Space splooge? Have you guys checked out the Starship launch and landing at all?
Oh, yeah.
The next Starship's going to be, I think, 15 meters or 20 meters taller. But he's going to have a 30% larger cargo capacity, and they're also building a new launch tower for it.
No,
That's
I
going to be
haven't.
exciting.
I haven't watched it because I'm not a fucking nerd.
Hey, I mean, look, if you don't think a 30-story tall building falling out of the fucking sky at Mach Jesus and landing in little T-Rex arms is cool, then, that's cool.
It's space. There's
Jenna
nothing up
Griswold.
there.
I have met this bitch in person. She was the one who basically fucked over the entire Colorado election system by posting the key to get into all of the election machines on her website for months, so that anyone who went to her website could get the codes to go into any of the computers for the entire state, so they could hack any of the voting machines in the entire state.
I remember. Why is she not in prison?
And then she was just like, whoops. Sorry about that.
Because we don't bother doing election audits and voter fraud.
Oh, but now some former Republican official or whatever, his company bought the company that owns Dominion voting machines, and now they're all like election conspiracy theorists or whatever all of a sudden.
Look, I think it's pretty easy how we can get elections fairly secure, and that's by having the IRS do your voting. And in order to vote in the election, you actually have to pay your fucking taxes.
Well, we can't show that on YouTube.
Well, you can at least once.
And honestly, the one thing I can't look, I'm not gonna just be one party or other. One thing I can't stand with the Republican Party is, for whatever fucking reason, they are abhorrently against the idea of having a couple of days off for work for voting. Like, no, voting should be a national holiday that you can't. Odd number Social Security numbers should have one day off, and even number Social Security numbers should have the next day off. And if you don't get in person to vote at that point, then I guess your voting isn't that important to you and you shouldn't get one.
I agree with that. I think there shouldn't be any mail-in voting. It should all be in person. There shouldn't be any kind of computer system at all, because that can be hacked. It should all be on paper that are physically counted with people watching, right? And yeah, we should have an entire day off of work to go and vote.
carbon copy paper, and we get the voter, the person that voted gets the carbon copy, and if we go in to contest our vote, like, oh, I didn't vote Democrat, and you bring your carbon copy, it doesn't match up exactly to the T with the new one, like, then yeah, no, everybody's getting investigated in that whole district.
In my state, you're not even allowed to take a picture of your ballot after you vote on it. They don't want you to have proof or whatever.
Texas is the same way. You're not supposed to take pictures.
Well, and so here in Ohio, I get a little tab off in the end, and it's barcoded and whatnot, so I can bring that in if I want to contest what's going on with my particular vote, and that's a nice thing there, but still not perfect.
Since taking office, Trump has made $3 billion in sketchy crypto deals. Okay, whatever. $400 million jet from Qatar, which isn't for him, it's for the country. $24.5 million from YouTube. Wasn't that a lawsuit? 25 from Facebook, lawsuit. 10 from X, lawsuit. 16 from CBS, lawsuit. 15 from ABC, lawsuit. 230 from Department of Justice. What was that one?
Lawsuit.
I don't remember that. Was it a lawsuit too?
Probably.
Let's ask Grok. Did Trump
I wish they would ban AI already.
30 million from a lawsuit?
AI ain't the issue. Plus, are you anti gun bans because they just don't work?
Okay, as of 2025, Trump has filed administrative claims seeking approximately $230 million in compensation from the Department of Justice. These claims relate to alleged damages from prior federal investigations, including the 2016 Russia probe. So yeah, he is suing them, but no settlement has been reached. No court has ruled in his favor. Trump is now president and has publicly referenced the claims, joking about suing myself. That's why I love Trump.
That's real. That's well recognized and real.
But he doesn't have the money. He didn't win it. So this is fucking bullshit. 230 from the DOJ. That's not actually true. And the 400
Something
million
tells me
he got that as part of a deal. So, and that's not for him, it's for the country. So whatever, fuck off.
A misleading leftist Twitter post. What else is new?
Right.
Well, shit, guys, I'm running out of stuff to talk about, so I guess it's about time that we shut it down. How long have we been going? Hour and 20 minutes? It's only 10 minutes early. That's fine. We're close enough. So to everyone, I shall say, deuces, y'all, shall not be infringed. Truba to Shabanaba to pressure, Batakath care, prect the troops, 2 words made in America.
Homeless security.
All next time. Oh, wait, anyone?
Hey, thank you for
plugs or anything before we go?
Long live the
check
Republic.
Check me out at Winchworm Inc. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Just doing off-road content and whatnot, family-friendly get-togethers up in Ohio for those that are interested. And yeah, thank you guys.
Ban AI.
Oh, I missed super chats because I'm a dick. Hold on, we're not done yet, boys. I thought we were done, but I'm not because I'm a dick.
No, we have to be super done in order to be done, right?
Corey knows it's kosher to drop hard R's in 2025. Retard. That's the hard R, right? Is the retard?
Right.
Sure.
Oh, and what is this shit? Oh my gosh.
Better not be porn.
We paid $5 to post it, so might as well.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm still working on getting it.
Fucking Daniel. First one was hilarious.
Oh, it's a clip of when I said he dropped in a. Oh my gosh. Okay. Here, hold on. He got me to say the name Nick
Kerr.
Gurr.
Yeah, I remember that. That shit was hilarious.
I said it like 5 times. Nick.
Yeah, I said it once, I think.
If I pause long enough, it's okay.
And we know who he races for.
Is it
the winning team?
Oh.
This car runs on blood memory.
Hold on.
It says, can you check out my friend's channel, Nick Gurr?
Oh, dang it. I'm not sharing it. Hold on. I fucked up. Stop share. Screen share. Is it that one?
We can see it a second ago.
Yeah, we can see it and hear it.
Oh, well then fuck me.
Ooh.
I see that, yeah.
Oh man.
We know who he races for.
Is it the winning team?
This car runs on blood memory. It says, can you check out my friend's channel, Nick Gurr? Sure, man. Nick Gurr. I don't know what kind of content he does out there, but hopefully it's something that is along the lines of what we talk about here, and certainly hopefully it's entertaining, and you guys
go check out Nick Gurr. You might like it. Who knows?
That's fucking awesome.
Corey, you really drove that home, man.
Right.
I did, didn't I?
All right. Well, on that
Especially
note,
in my twang ass accent of mine.
on that note, thanks for being here, guys. Deuces, y'all. Shut up, Ian. Pretty stupid. Shopping out of pressure. Bad cat. Care practice troops. 2 words. Made in America. We'll see you next time.
Penis.
Deuces.